Hi guys, welcome back. This week we will be learning how to clean and transform data using SQL functions. If you've been following my post on Facebook within the week, I did drop uh, some of these functions, some post about some of these functions and how they function, how they work, and what they are used to for. So you might want to go back on those posts and then look at them again. But here, what we are trying to do is to show you some hands-on uh, practice on how these SQL functions can be used to transform and clean data. So as usual, if you've been following all the other videos, as usual, we'll be creating a database, and also we have to create our data table, and then we'll also be populating our data table with data from an external source. The only difference from today is that we'll be this time around we will be using data tables because we will be introducing you to a function that we require you to import data from different tables. So I will start off by creating a new database. It brings me out to where I want to save that. So I want to save this as week3.db. Save this in this week3 folder. So we're going to do a save. Because we are going to import our data table from an external source, a CSV file, we don't need to go through this. So I'll close this and then go back to file. I'll go back to my file and then import and import from CSV. Then I'll go to where my data table is. First of all, I will be importing my employee table. So as I've always said in the last video, if you are importing a data table, make sure this is checked, column names as first line, because you are importing a CSV file that is a text-based file system. So if you leave this unchecked, that means your column names will be rows in rows like it is here. So check this, and then I have the opportunity to rename this table. I'll be naming this table employees here, and then I'll click OK. Then we have our table imported here. So now I could expand this to look at the table structure. So these are the column names. These are the type, their data type, employee ID, which should be our primary key. Remember when we talked about primary key is an integer. We have name as test, department as integer, and so on. Then we will be importing our second table. So we go back to file, import from CSV. This time around, I'll go to we have saved this and I will be importing the department table. Okay, here it is. I make sure this is checked, and I have to rename this table. I need to rename this table as department. So that's about it. Like I said, you look at the structure if you want. Then also you could browse and see the content of these tables. Browse and see the content of these tables. This is what we have in department table. This is what we have in the employee table. So first of all, we will be looking at data transformation techniques. So we'll be looking at some functions, also techniques that we could use to clean text data, like remove the spaces and standardize the tests. So when we are browsing this table, I will need to show you operation through the data table. I will need to show you what we're going to standardize. When you look at the email column, this column, when you look at the email column, you will notice that most of the emails are in capital letters, and most of them are all in uh, lowercase letters. So we need to standardize them, make them to be in the same casing. So when we look at our departmental names as well, this column, you will notice that we have some discrepancies. You will see IT and information technology, just like we had in our post. So we'll be standardizing that as well. And also we'll be looking at some conditional transformations, like when we want to group when we want to group the data in our table based on maybe salary or based on date of join, depending on what we decide. And then also we'll be combining two tables, data from two tables, based on information available in another one of the tables, or just a random combination. And then we'll be concluding this video with data aggregation and summary, just to summarize data with aggregation functions, which are always suitable for maybe when you are doing a report. Yeah, you're working in a company and then you have been told to kind of know the number of employees who are in the information technology department. Yeah, you could use those functions to do that. So we'll be stepping in with the codes, the queries. So I will start by, first of all, I will do my commenting out. Sorry, yeah, I'll do this for the commenting out. So I'll first of all be doing data transformation technique. Okay, look at this. So first of all, we'll be let's clean let's clean this let's clean test data. So cleaning text data. First of all, let's use trim. I think let's clean test data using the trim function. in our data set, there's some spaces in some of these names, so we need to make sure those spaces are out. So what we will be doing here is we now go to, I think the spaces are, let's look. Then, okay, we'll work with the departmental data set here. So I will be updating. So we're using our update function, update employee, and then we'll get here and set the department name, and then that should be equal to introducing my trim function, open bracket, department name, and then bracket should close. Clean data trim, finished with that error. Okay, that's worked out. Unfortunately, because it's an update function, you might not be able to see the effect. Yeah, but it said execution finished without error. So that is it. So next we now try to standardize the tests. So what we are going to standardize is the email. So what we are going to do is to update the email address again. Here we use the update. Just to find it, comment out, standardize, standardize email column. I'll do an update on the employee data set, and then I'll set email equals to, I'll use the lower function, bracket open, email, and bracket uh, closed. So we need to select this so that we don't run the code from up to down. We need to select this and then run. So I need to select all. I need to select email. So we could see, select email from employee, and then when we run this, you should see that we have all of them at a lowercase. Scroll down, we have all of them as a lowercase. So basically, this did work out. So you could do that to actually check to make sure that you have your queries worked out. Next, what we'll be doing next is uh, we'll be correcting, let's correct inconsistencies in the data. So remember when I mentioned about I think we need to go back here, when I mentioned about in the departments, when I mentioned IT and information technology. So we'll be correcting this inconsistency, and we'll be using the replace function here. Is still still on the update employee dataset, and then we need to set department name. Yeah, it's department name equals to replace. I'll be replacing bracket open. We'll be replacing department name. I'll be replacing, first of all, I'll be replacing information technology. I'll be replacing it with IT. So let's walk you through this and what's happened. We replace a function, we take in the column name, and then it's going to take in the first name of what you want to replace, and then it's going to take in the second one. Let's just make sure this is an I, yeah, and this is that. So I will, first of all, select this, and then run this query. Said finished without uh, finished without error, because it is an update query. It won't show us a result, so we need to still go back and select. This time I'm going to select departmental names. Just copy this and paste, and then run this. So we have all IT, we have IT, and no information technology anywhere. So that is that for this. Next we will be looking at okay, let's do some number transformation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to round up the salaries. So let's do numeric transformation. Yeah, so here, let's browse this. And then, okay, here in the salary column, we have some salaries that are in decimal places. I want to run them to the nearest 100. So that should work. So what we're going to do is we do a select, and then here I will be selecting salary as a column, so we could appreciate what we are doing here. Salary as a column, and then the rounded up salary, which could also be salary, yeah, and then we close the bracket, and we are selecting this from employees. So if I run this, remember to select, and then if I run this, you could all see that this is what we had as the first salary, and this is what it is rounded up to. This is what it's rounded up to. So that's for that. Next, okay, we will be looking at some conditional statements, conditional transformations, conditional transformation. This is where we'll be using our case. So the case function allows us to allows us to perform some conditional logics within queries. So when we say conditional, so what we are directly mean is a condition where if these values are these, do this. If they're not these, then do this. So that's why we're going to apply that with the conditional statement. So first of all, I want to classify, what we want to do is to classify employees based on their salary range. So I will browse that table again. I will browse that table again to see what the salary ranges. Okay, let's look at the salaries. Okay, these are the salary, this is the salary column. So what we'll be doing is to categorize these columns as high income earners, low income earners, and medium income earners. I think we could do three. Yeah, we could do three. So I will type of the casing. I'll do select. I'll do a select. So and I'll select name. Yeah, and then I'll select name, and when I select the name, I should have uh, case. We'll be introducing the case format. We'll be introducing the case function. So select case. That should be when, that's the first conditional statement, salary when salary my cat looks at it's up, when salary is less than, let me look at the range. Let me look at the range we have in the salary of 50,000. We have 100,000. Okay, let me use 50 when salary is less than 51, 1, 2, 3. Then that should be low earners. Okay, the second condition is when salary is between, this is another function, between, I think we do 50,000 and we have 100, I have 100,000. Yeah, I have 100,000, between 50 and 100, right? Then it should be medium earners, and S, every other person should be high earners. And then we need to end the case statement that we do, and then we should classify this as uh, salary. I think group should be the name, and then from employees. So before we run this code, we want to walk you through what is happening there. So we're selecting the names of employees. As we can see, these are the names of employees. Based on their salary, we'll be grouping them. So now the case is introduces the conditional statement, and it says that when someone's salary is less than 50,000, then we should categorize them as low earners. When their salary is between 50,000 and 100,000, then they should be medium earners. And S, whoever is not in this category, you're not below 50,000, you're not between 50,000 and 100,000, then you should be higher than 100,000. That should be high income earner. So we need to run this, and when we run this, yeah, here we have uh, our list out. So this is the salary group. We need to look at this. Okay, I think we have just okay. Let's introduce the salary and then look at what we have. See if this grouping was done correctly. So I will select, run again. Okay, sorry, I missed out the comma before here. So I need to do that and run this again. Yeah, great. Okay, this is 65,000 and then high enough. Okay, something is wrong. I need to find out when salary 50,000 in lowercase. Okay, I think this is 10,000. This should be 100,000. So let's go back and run this again. Yeah, that's done. Yes, this guy is 50. between 50 and 100. It's a medium. Okay, medium, medium, medium. Okay, that's absolutely correct for this. Next, we will be combining tables. So let's do combination, combining tables using joins. Okay, I should be closing this. So now we have different types of join. We have the inner join, we have the left join, we have the right join, we have the full join. In some advanced cases, we have cross join and self join. So, but here I'll basically be using the inner join and the outer join and the left join. I do inner and left. Yes, yeah, inner and left to demonstrate how to join or combine tables from the two tables we have here. We have the employee table and we have the department table. So, just keep an eye on this. This is the department name, which is what we are going to use as a key to connect this table, because here we have the department names that we also see here. So we are going to try to match that using an inner join. We're going to try to match each employee according to their department using an inner join. So what we're going to do is, first of all, we do a select. Then we will be doing from employee dot and then name. We'll be selecting the employee name from the employee table, and then we do the employee position, which is also from the employee table. And then we're now trying to join that with department, department table. We're going to join the department name here, and then we're going to select this from the employee table, the employees table, and then we are going to inner join this. We're going to inner join department, the department table. We're going to inner join the department table on using the department ID. So we have employee ID, employee table, and we're going to use the department ID, where department ID equals to department dot department ID. So we will run this by selecting and then running. So selected. Okay. So what we did here was we selected the employee. We selected the employees, their employee position, which is the position they are, which are both information we have in the employee table, and then we selected the department, which is an information we have in the department table. So and now we are now joining. We are selecting this from the employee table, and then we are now joining the table, the table department, which is the second table we have on where there is a match. So if you could browse this, see the ID, and you could browse this, you could see the department ID. So we are joining them based on where they have an equal match, which is on the ID, this ID, and this ID. So that is where we are doing the joining from. So with inner join, this information must match in both sides. So I'm going to do, okay, this is using join. So here I do inner join. So we now look at, let's copy this for time, and we will do another join. I will be doing a left join. So with left joins, the the there's no match. There's no actually no interest in matching. So what you just need is for data to come from here and then there. So basically, I will be doing a select, and then I will select employee. Okay, I think I will use, let me use an E, and then I will introduce you to how to use an alias to code for the data table. So I will do E name, and then D for department. I will do departmental name. That's what I want to select here, and then I'll look at this from the employee table. So with the employee table space E. So what I'm doing now is to assign an alias, just like when we did the column name and we did an as a name. So this is what I'm doing. I'm assigning an alias to the employee table. So to make sure it selects the right table. And then I'm going to left join this. I'm going to left join this, left join with department, with the departments, just the table, and then also a space D for the alias, and then on E, department ID, like we did, which is equal to D dot department ID as well. So now we will be selecting now and then running this. So we have those names and their uh, respective departments for all the data input table, for all the names in the employee table. We're matching them with their department name. So that's for the uh, combination of tables. So you could practice more of this. You could read up about full join. You could also look about other types of join to get grasp this. So now we will be doing data aggregation and summary. So we'll look at data aggregation. That should be the next. And then for data aggregation, I think we've done average. Okay, let's start with average. It's going to be a little bit easy. So we are going to do a sum, and then we do average, and then we do a count. So also I'll do a select. I'll do a select, and then okay, let's let's do something. Okay, let me just use an inner join here again. I will do dot department, since we already used to the department name, and then I'm going to do avg for average, and then we're going to do average e dot salary. Remember, the salary is in the employee table. Salary is in the employee table here. Here is salary is in the employee table, and that's what we want to calculate the average. And then we do that as we use an alias as average salary, and then we will also select this from employee table, and then employee as E, and then I'll be adjoining this with the department table, also D. Remember to put our reference of where we are joining. We are joining E on department ID, which is equals to D on same department ID. Here, I want to group them, then group them by the department name. Department name. Yes. Okay. So let's run this and see. Okay, we will run this and see. Great. So we are looking at the average salary per department. So now we are looking at finance department as an average salary of. Also, we could round this if we want. We could round this, but let's not go into that because it might make this look a little bit more complicated for you. So I will be doing the sum. So what we'll be doing here is to use the sum. I'll select sum, the sum salary from employees. So if we run this, it gives us the total amount of salary. So we could use an alias here to do as total salaries. And when we run this, yeah, it's giving us the total salary. You could also substitute this sum here and for average. Yeah, so you could get the sum salary paid per department. And then the count. Okay, let me comment this out. Total salary, the salaries of employees. That is what it is. And then we do the count. That should be number of employees. Okay, using count function, using count. So I think we will stop here, and I will want you to try your hands out with this. Finding the number of employees uh, using the count function. I think we've done that in previous videos. Just try your hands out. It's not difficult, and it's not a fail if you don't get it. If you don't get it, you need to try again and keep trying. That's how it works. So what we have done, we've covered so far. We've shown you what you could basically be doing as a data analyst or a data scientist, or in data analysis, what you could be doing with SQL when you want to use SQL to transform and clean data, which is essential for ensuring accuracy and consistency of data, and helps you to drive better insights from data. To deepen your skills, I've given you one assignment to do. I will also encourage you to apply the techniques as I applied on the hands-on practice, try to look at the data. I will be sharing the data sets, data tables. I will be sharing them. Try to look at the data. Try to find out some other things maybe we did not find out during this video. Then practice hands-on. That's the fastest part you could become an SQL guru. So keep practicing. Remember to like this video, share this video, comment on it, and also let us know if you have any questions. If you also run into any challenges, do not hesitate to just comment under the video or the post on Facebook. Share this, subscribe on the YouTube channel as well. Thank you. See you next week.